As a young man in my 20s, one of my least favorite philosophers was Machiavelli. Thought of the end justifying the means was not something I could stomach. Yet I knew there were people of very little integrity. And it was my obligation as a conservative Christian to oppose those people. If it meant lying about those people to prevent them from furthering their agenda, then so be it. If it meant discriminating against those people to prevent them from influencing my friends and my family members, that's what it took. However, at the age of 25, I had a Damascene conversion. I came out as a gay man. And coming out as a gay man put me at odds with my previous culture. I felt rejected by my family. I felt rejected by my culture. And now I was obliged to make enemies out of people who were previously my friends. And I took an antagonistic stance against conservatives. I took an antagonistic stance against Christians. Yet, several years ago, while looking for work, my sister suggested that I work as a safety sitter in a hospital. I did. Yet the hospital was not at the medical center. The hospital was in Humble, a very conservative small town on the outskirts of Houston. To accommodate the patients I sat with and to keep from losing my job, I refrained from talking about controversial topics. Instead, I would ask the patients I sat with about their families and previous occupations. Refusing to talk about things of contention allowed me to see how much we had in common. And the patients I sat with liked me so much. Many of them offered me jobs working with them at home. Yet, working 12-hour shifts at the hospital did not allow for much of anything else. This opened my eyes. I began to question my way of looking at the world. As a young man, I was a conservative Christian, and the enemy was the far left. As I grew older, I became a far left liberal, and the enemy was the conservative Christian. I began to think over the years, just because I disagree with someone, do we have to be enemies? Do I have to behave badly for good reasons? Do I have to be offensive? Working at the hospital allowed me to see that even though I may disagree with someone, does not mean I need to be offensive to win them over. In fact, being offensive does nothing but drive us further apart. So now I believe in treating people the way I want them to treat me. I do not make friends by being an enemy. I make friends and I influence people by being a friendly person. In 1970, a teacher by the name of Arlene Lawrence worked for a school in Brooklyn, New York. And the school that she worked at was not a school to be proud of. She says in her book, The Love Project, "For 7 years I served my sentence and marked off institutional time. I complained, cried, accepted hopelessness, put down the rest of the faculty for all the things they didn't do, and devoted all my energies to trying to change others and the system." She realized that her efforts were not working. Fighting against her coworkers, trying to manipulate and control the people around her was not the solution. And hitting a brick wall, she had an epiphany. It came in on me, loud and clear, that I was the only one who could imprison or release me. that I was the only one I could do anything about changing. So I let go of my anger and negativism and made a decision to simply be totally loving, open, and vulnerable all the time. She starts this initiative, this is in 1970, called the Love Project. And she witnesses something that she can only describe as miraculous. One way, she writes, to start a preventative program is to be the change you want to see happen. That is the essence and substance of the simple and successful endeavor known as the Love Project. So, becoming the change that she wanted to see in her environment allowed her to see it. Working on herself instead of trying to manipulate and control others allowed her to see a positive change in her surroundings. The school went from being one of disruptive unruliness to one of cooperation and one in which she could be proud of. In Luke chapter 6, 27 through 36, Christ says in the Sermon on the Mount, "But I say unto you which hear, love your enemies. Do good to them which hate you. Bless them that curse you. And pray for them which despitefully use you. And unto him that smiteth thee on the one cheek, offer also the other. And him that taketh away thy cloak, forbid not to take thy coat also. Give to every man that asketh of thee, and of him that taketh away thy goods, ask them not again. And as ye would that men should do to you, do ye also to them likewise. For if ye love them which love you, what thank have ye? For sinners also love those that love them. And if ye do good to them which do good to you, what thank have ye? For sinners also do even the same. And if ye lend to them of whom ye hope to receive, what thank have ye? For sinners also lend to sinners, to receive as much again. But love ye your enemies, and do good and lend, hoping for nothing again. And your reward shall be great, and ye shall be the children of the highest. For he is kind unto the unthankful and to the evil. Be ye therefore merciful, as your Father also is merciful. Instead of justifying my offensive behavior with my good intentions, instead of being blinded by my offensiveness or to my offensiveness, because I have good intentions, I believe it behooves me to be a good person, to love those who do not love me, to bless those who curse me, to do unto others as I would have them do unto me. And to live a life that I wish to see lived in the people that I oppose. To live a life that I wish to see lived in the people who I call enemies. Because if I mirror the offensiveness I see in others, all I do is widen the division which exists between us. And so, to live my life by the golden rule is my mission. To live my life and to treat others the way I would like to be treated is my ambition. I can be mad and say, I don't like Machiavelli. I don't like consequentialism. I can say this is offensive, this is repulsive, all I want. But if I am justifying my actions by my so-called good intentions, then I am a hypocrite. Because I am living out that which I oppose. And so by my life, I demonstrate my beliefs. By my life, I demonstrate what I truly put my faith in. And it's by my life, by my example, do I make the world a better place to live.